Good morning. Welcome to Unity of Kanawha Valley on Sunday, July 24th. We begin our service with the ringing of the bell and the lighting of the Christ candle. We ring this bell and we light this candle as a reminder of the Christ light that shines in each and every one of us. So if you would, open your bulletin to the back cover. You'll see there's number 1, opening statement, and repeat that with me. Together, there is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, God, the good, omnipotent. And sit with that truth for just a moment. Allow that to anchor into your heart. And then repeat it with me once more. There is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, God, the good, omnipotent. And so it is. Our songs this morning, we have Ron flying solo. So welcome Ron back as we do our songs today.
Good morning, everybody. Okay, it's going to be like a hootenanny this morning. Okay, so, all right, would you please stand and we will sing Surely the Presence, which is right inside your front cover.
comes trickling down. Isn't that the truth, that when we can see the Christ in one another, our love comes pouring out? Great way to start the service. Thank you, Ron. Okay, for announcements today, we are collecting luggage and backpacks for the Davis Children's Center. If you can get them here to the church, Dewey Lester will make sure they get to the shelter to the kids who need them. The Sojourners for donation for this month, they are requesting hygiene products and cereals. There again, we have a barrel at the bottom of the stairs. If you can get the items here to the church, Pam delivers those to the Sojourners shelter. Cereal. Your Rice Krispies, your cornflakes, that type of thing. Okay, now we are a tithing church. 10% of everything that comes in goes back out to bless others. And for this month, our tithe is going to the New Hope Animal Rescue. And they are a no-kill shelter, is that correct?
No kill and 100% volunteer.
100% volunteer.
Do not have a shelter. Every animal is fostered until it's adopted.
Okay, every animal is fostered until it's adopted. There's not a shelter, but that means the animal is loved and taken care of. So,
Zoo during the hot dog sale.
and yes. They also bring in animals during the hot dog sale so that people can get familiar with the animals. And it also helps us because some people come just to pet the animals. But we did have a very successful hot dog sale yesterday. I want to extend a heartfelt thanks to everyone who participated, whether you were there just to eat a hot dog or whether you were there and gave of your time or shared goodies that you had baked. Everything goes together to make a successful sale. Danny?
The preparation line kept the kitchen busy.
Oh, okay.
We found us a new bartender.
Oh, Carol? Yes. Carol was in charge of dispensing the soft drinks yesterday. She did an amazing job, so Danny is recognizing that. It may not have been hard, but it was necessary, and thank you for filling that slot for us. I am told that we netted almost $700 yesterday. So what a wonderful.
We made 633.
633 to be exact. Okay. All righty. And for those of you who attend Barbie's Unravel group, that usually meets the last Wednesday of the month, which would be this coming Wednesday. However, Barbie's out of town, so instead of having a July meeting, the next Unravel group will meet on August 3rd. So the July Unravel group is meeting the first Wednesday of August. Okay, well, that is all the announcements I have. So I will turn it back over to Ron for a song. Is that right? Is that next? Oh, okay, then I'm wrong. I'm going to lead a meditation. Okay. So if you would, just take a moment to get comfortable. You may want to close your eyes or soften your gaze, but just relax your body as you take a deep breath. Just breathe and relax into this moment. Pause as you allow your spirit to restore your natural balance. Give yourself the greatest gift of all, time to stop, breathe. Allow joy to bubble up within you. Right here, right now, just be. O holy moment, I rest in you now. Feel your body relax with ease as you notice your breath. Feel your heartbeat. Silently affirm in this holy instant, I need do nothing. In this holy instant, I need do nothing. There may be mountains of things to do, worry to overcome, resistance to release. And yet, in one holy instant, the mountains can be moved. The worry eased as a path of least resistance opens up. I need do nothing. Breathe and allow your whole being to rejoice in this moment of peace and joy as you let go and embrace the sweetness of life in its many forms. In this holy instant, your life is brought back into focus through the power of your intention, the power of your prayers. Breathe deeply now as you return your attention to your surroundings. Become fully present to the lingering feeling of joy and peace as you continue on with your day. And so it is. Amen.
Good morning. Today's daily word is loving. I am a loving, caring presence. Just as the sun shines on everyone and everything, I am a loving presence to everyone I meet. My kind words, welcoming smile, and compassionate actions all spring from the love that is part of my divine identity. Being a loving presence draws me closer to God and to all people. I want to share the love I have known throughout the seasons of my life, at heights of triumph and joy, and the depths of love, loss, and suffering. God is love, and so am I. No matter who I meet or what they're going through, I am loving. I bring support, kindness, solace, and comfort, and share them lavishly without thought of reciprocity. I am the hands and heart of God in the world. Owe no one anything except to love one another, for the one who loves another has fulfilled the law. Romans 13:8.
When I saw the title of the lesson this morning, this song came to mind. This is something I wrote in the last year or so, and we call it about making a difference. This was the motivation for this song. Is called "Be the Change." Fighting in the street, shouting on the screen. Who can be heard when everybody screams? We are more than our color. We are more than just our kind. And an eye for an eye will leave us all blind. Be the change that you dream of. Be the change that you desire. Be the healing water that tames the raging fire. When the hurt and hate divide us, it is the love that will unite us. Be the love, be the hope, be the peace, be the change. Ears that will not hear, eyes that will not see, walls that keep us safe from those who disagree. We're more. We clench our fists in anger when we need an open hand, for we never will accept what we cannot understand. Be the change that you dream of. Be the change that you desire. Be the healing water that tames the raging fire. When the hurt and hate divide us, it is the love that will unite us. Be the love, be the hope, be the peace, be the change. Turn these swords into plowshares, these bullets into doves, walls into bridges, fear into love. When the hurt and hate divide us, it is the love that will unite us. Be the love, be the hope, be the peace. Be the love, be the hope, be the peace. Be the love, be the hope, be the peace. Be the change.
Thank you, Ron. Oh, I am so pleased today to be here to introduce Mary Beth Beller. She has spoken here many times. It's always very genuine and heartfelt, and always, always, always I go home with some nugget of truth. So I am so thrilled to announce Mary Beth today as she discusses making a difference. Please welcome Mary Beth Beller.
There, now I'm on. When I was 14, I met this boy. He was beautiful, big brown eyes, dark hair, and we had this conversation, and I thought, wow. And the next day, I ran into him in a store, and he actually remembered my name. I had not expected that. And we had another big conversation. And I decided that I had a new goal, and that was to have him ask me on a date. And I worked all of my freshman year to make that happen, and it didn't. So when I was 15, I actually left the private school that my mother sacrificed to send me to go to the public school where the boy was. I got there, and I discovered that at noon, he and a bunch of friends went out in a car and drove around so that they could smoke cigarettes. And so I became a professional smoker. I could smoke like I'd been doing it since I was 6. By December, he asked me out. By January, we'd had a couple of dates. And my whole focus was to get a continued date. And every night I would iron my best outfit, think of what I could put together with accessories, and I'd get up early and do my hair and makeup, and school became great for me. And then one morning as I was doing my hair, I found a pimple, a big pimple. It was huge and red, and there was no amount of makeup that would hide it. And I didn't know what to do. So I went through all of the rational choices a 15-year-old girl has, and I simply skipped school. I didn't go back until the pimple was controlled, because what are you going to do, right? Yeah. I was reminded of my 15-year-old self this summer when I had this incredible experience of teaching history for the Upward Bound program. These kids ranged in age from 14 to 17, and they were from Kanawha and Logan counties, all together for a month. Upward Bound is geared to low-income students to help them excel in high school and then go on to successfully complete a college degree. Many of these students were academically motivated, but like me, most were driven by the need for approval from their peers. When the approval came in the form of acting out or acting as though they weren't interested, that's the behavior I saw. But I also saw lots of fearful faces of students who were clearly tuned into what I was saying, but were afraid that if they spoke and participated in class, that they might come across as dumb and they might lose that approval of peers. So their eyes spoke volumes, but they remained silent. Adolescence is tough. We need so desperately to have approval from others because the image of ourselves is that which is reflected from the behavior of our peers. And that drive, that yearning for acceptance of love, leads to a great deal of what my husband refers to as navel gazing. Think about it, navel gazing. If you're only concentrating on yourself, how do you ever see the bigger world? That Upward Bound program had every student read a book that I want to tell you about today. The author's name is Gary Rowe, and the title of the book is The Difference Maker: Overcoming Adversity and Turning Pain into Purpose Every Day. Rowe's book is a great tonic for adolescents that are battling insecurities. And many of these adolescents fought a whole lot more than just dealing with the crisis of a pimple. These students were dealing with single head of household parents. They were dealing with responsibilities for taking care of younger siblings. They were dealing with alcohol and drug abuse from their parents, from their other relatives, and sometimes also from their peers. It was tough for them, and they did a marvelous job this summer. I was so pleased to get to be part of that. But it made me think that sometimes I think that adolescent introspection that we all have can set us up for mental ruts as adults. You know, those tapes that we play over and over in our heads, reminding us of past hurts, setting us up for negative feelings. Those are the ruts I'm talking about. Well, as it turns out, there's a biological reason that we play those negative tapes. According to the Mayo Clinic, when we sense pain or a perceived threat, or even brace ourselves for pain by reliving those past hurts, our brain releases cortisol and adrenaline into our bloodstream. Cortisol increases levels of glucose or sugar, and it also minimizes functions that are not essential if you're getting ready to fight. Those non-essential systems that get shut down are the digestive system, reproductive system. Also, growth gets put on pause. It also communicates with the areas of the brain that control mood swings, motivation, and fear. When the threat goes away, the levels of cortisol go back to normal. But if we keep our response system activated by reliving those traumatic events, high cortisol levels actually put us at risk of anxiety and depression, digestive problems, headaches, muscle tension and pain, heart disease, stroke and heart attacks, sleep problems, weight gain, and memory and concentration impairment. Repeatedly exposing ourselves to emotional or physical pain will keep the cortisol levels high and help us to prepare our responses for the next threat or hurt that comes along. But over time, this behavior wears down the receptors that tell the brain when the threat is over and allow the cortisol levels to retreat. So what steps can we take to get out of these mental ruts? Those playing of worn out tapes over and over reminding us of all of the times we've been hurt. Rose suggests in his book that a solution for this is to find a purpose in life. And he adds an important caveat to what that needs to include and what it should not include. He says, your purpose is not your identity, because identities can be lost. Think about it. We usually identify ourselves by our occupations or the roles we play. I'm a professor by trade. I'm also a wife, a mother, I'm a friend, and I'm a sibling. But any day I could lose my job. My husband could die. I could lose my daughter, my siblings. And then what would I be? So if my purpose is not an identity or a role, what is it? Rose suggests that there are 4 necessary components to finding a purpose. First, he says that a purpose in life should come from the heart. It must be something that we believe in, not something adopted out of popularity or even pressure from our in-group. Second, our purpose should include other people. Even those of us who are introverts and relish our time alone need that social energy of being around others. Third, the purpose must involve love. A love that gives and seeks no return. Love given freely without any strings attached. And finally, he says our purpose should be about service. Rowe writes, and I'm quoting here, service to others for their good, service to the community for its good, and service to the world for the greater good. He continues by saying the service is love in action. We intentionally get out of our heads and we reach out to others. We seek to use our gifts and talents and abilities for the benefit of others. We change our mindset from me to we. Service, he writes, exercises the heart in a way that leads to greater mental, emotional, spiritual, and even physical health. As we serve, our hearts come alive. We see others more. We live more in the present. We're less burdened by our personal problems, and life takes on a greater meaning. We live larger than before. When I read Rowe's book, some examples about this came to mind. I thought about Mary Harris Jones, who was an Irish immigrant to America. She was a school teacher and a dressmaker. She was also the mother of 4 children and a wife. And in 1 year, her husband and all 4 children died of yellow fever. 4 years after that, the Great Chicago Fire burned down her dressmaker shop. So she goes from having roles and identities that are amazing to being without roles and identities. How did she cope? What did she do to overcome the tragedy? Through her purpose of service, Mary Harris Jones worked as a union organizer, and she traveled, trying to get labor laws on the books to make workers' lives better. She worked on labor laws here in West Virginia as well. You and I know her as Mother Jones. She was the woman who by 1901 was labeled the most dangerous woman in America. Dave Evans is another guy that I thought of. Dave was from West Virginia. As a patriotic boy, he grew up and volunteered to go to Vietnam to fight communism. By the age of 20, he was back in West Virginia as a double amputee. Dave learned how to fit prosthetic limbs, and he traveled literally the whole world, making and fitting prosthetic arms and legs for children and adults who had lost theirs due to war. There's a recent film about this that's titled The Wake-Up Call, and it actually features Dave Evans talking about himself and showing the work that he's done as he travels country to country. Jimmy Carter is another person whose purpose of service has been known to all of us for quite some time. As president, he was responsible for the Camp David Accords, which brought together the states of Israel and Egypt in what led to a peace treaty for the very first time. It was major. Carter also led the SALT II talks that reduced nuclear missiles between the Soviet Union and the United States. It was under Carter that we got the Department of Energy and the Department of Education. But during this time, our nation also had a whole lot of inflation. And in 1979, the Iranian Revolution happened. And in that revolution, people in Tehran took American hostages. And while Carter negotiated hard for that, they didn't get released until, surprisingly, the day of his successor's inauguration. Carter did so much, and he lost that election only carrying 3 states, even after all that work. He carried Minnesota, his home state of Georgia, and our state of West Virginia. And that kind of loss and slap I think we could all understand if he'd simply retreated to a private life. But what has Jimmy Carter done? He started the Carter Center, which is known worldwide for bringing together people from different nations and warring factions within nations to find a peaceful, diplomatic place where they can try to find common ground and work together rather than killing one another. Carter also teaches Sunday school at his church, and he and his wife Rosalind are the face of Habitat for Humanity. Even in their 90s, they volunteer with Habitat for Humanity to build houses for people who can't afford them. Rose's book also reminded me of a friend of mine. Mr. John is he's one of those Vietnam veterans, and you know them. They came back so emotionally wounded that they can't live a full life. They can't carry out a full job because of all the demons that are in his head all these years later. But Mr. John mows grass for senior citizens in my hometown of Winfield. He goes into people's homes and does handyman chores. He even makes food and delivers it to people. And he doesn't take a penny for any of this. What he says is, I need to be busy. It helps me to be stable if I'm doing something. And he even turns away money and says, my disability check is fine. I'm taken care of. This is my way to give back. Mr. John was an angel to my mother and really made her life so full and so whole for the last decade of her life. And while I think most of us would understand, again, if he was unable to do anything positive, he channeled his energy the whole time he was in Winfield, and certainly through my mother's life, into helping other people. One of my colleagues has this saying underneath her email signature, and it says, be kinder than necessary, for everyone you encounter is fighting some kind of battle. And we are. We are. But I think we can take the lesson of Rose's book to channel our energy toward a purpose of service. And in acting and giving love, minimize the power of those personal demons and stop reliving the hurt that we've experienced. Thank you.
Thank you, Mary Beth. If the ushers would come forward, please. You'll find the offering blessing on the inside of your bulletin. And if you would, repeat that with me. Divine love, moving in and through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I give in love, I trust God, and I am grateful.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. I'm gonna take my light around the world. Yes, I'm gonna let it shine. Gonna take my light around the world. I'm gonna let it shine. Take my light around the world. Oh, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Come, let it shine now. Now this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Won't let anybody blow it out. No, I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, won't let anybody blow it out. I'm gonna let it shine. Don't let anybody blow it out. Oh, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Yes, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, now this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. One more time. Come on. Oh, wait a minute. I remember. I can. Well, I'm gonna make a difference. I'm gonna let it shine. I'm gonna make a difference. I'm gonna let it shine. I'm gonna make a difference. Oh, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Oh, now this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it
So at this time, we give thanks for these gifts and offerings that keep this place of love open. We are grateful for messages that remind us that making a difference helps spread love and joy and peace in the world. And we are grateful to be a part of that. So we say thank you for Unity of Kanawha Valley. Thank you for each and every person that supports this ministry. And thank you for more love, joy, and peace in our lives. And so it is. Amen.
Amen.
Now, if you'd like to make a circle, we will do our peace song. I know Mary Louise had a birthday this week, and Lisa Blakely had a birthday this week. Anybody else had a birthday or an anniversary or anything else you want to celebrate? Well, let's sing happy birthday then.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Peace on earth. Hello, everybody.
Hey, Rich. I was trying to decide if we're okay to talk.
It is indeed.
Okay. Well, welcome everybody.
Hi, Ernie.
Hey.
Yeah.